Hi guys, doing a ZvZ video. I saw a thread yesterday, which basically was like, what's your opinion on Mutas versus Roach Hydra Infestor? And I basically made a point saying that Mutas in the current map pool don't work at all on HOTS. Like, it's just too easy to find them. If you're playing perfectly, the Muta player should never win. And this game is a high masters on Korea, ZvZ. I'm the blue Zerg, and my opponent goes Mutas, and I go roaches. So I just want to demonstrate why I said that roaches is always better than Mutas. I want to show you how to play the matchup in general. ZvZ is not my best, but I still think I know it pretty damn well. So yeah, I guess I'll go over everything. So build wise, I got 15 hatch every game, 16 pool, 17 gas. There we go, 16 pool and then 17 gas. So that's standard, same thing as in ZvT. Also, position wise, I put my pool always one square away from my hatchery, so if later in the game I could put my queen in here. So say there's a link flood, I put my queen right there and it just defends it a lot easier. So it makes it little chokes. It's actually kind of important. It helps a lot with dealing with like bailing stuff. He put his here, which prevents lings running by. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think you could run by this spot. So I'm not 100% sure why he put his pool there, but it's interesting either way. Overlords. So when you're sending in overlords, mostly in ZvZ, you should always send to the natural first to confirm if it's hatchery first or pool first. I see it's pool first. If they go pool first on this map in particular, you can't go into the main unless the clean would kill you. So to figure out if it's like gasless or not gasless, you should park the overlord right here where you can see the ramp. And if they do go gasless, by the time, here I'll show you, by the time the natural finishes, they'll have, what's it called? So he has 17 drones right now, plus the one that made the gas. So he should have had 18 drones if he went gasless, meaning he's oversaturating his main. So if you go gasless, they always transfer over 2 drones to their natural right when the hatchery finishes. So that's like a tell that they're gasless. If you don't see any drones transfer when this finishes, that means they're gas. So I don't have to see anything. My vision, I have no idea. I haven't seen this, but I still know he took gas just by the one little tip. So if you see two drones transfer, it's basically a tell. Now let's pull this guy back so he doesn't die to the queen. And my overlords are just one over here, one here just for obviously laying. Build wise, I already said my build is 15 hatchery, 16 pool, 17 gas. First 100 gas goes into link speed, next 50 gas goes to the bailing nest, and then we get layer. This is being annoying. Yep, drone. So now with my next 100 gas, I start my layer. I get my second, third gas when I start your layer because you want 3 gases if you're gonna play roaches with layer. And I get my roach warden. Normally I get evo chamber too. Pretty sure I get one. If not, I forgot it. It's just a mistake. Yeah, I forgot it. That's okay. But yeah, so build wise, you want 16 drones in your main, obviously 16 your natural. Then just make a few overlords, and then by the time you're fully saturated, your roach warden should be finishing. So this is the time you want to start cranking out a couple roaches. You don't need a lot, but you want like at least 5 to help take a third. So if you don't make those 5, he'll link flood you and just kill your third. And you generally want to take your third if you're going roaches like this around 8 minutes. So that's 8 minutes. Yeah, it just works out because that's like when your roaches will be popping out. So 5 roaches are just finishing. So once these roaches are done, I feel basically 100% safe. So yeah, you should be taking a third right when the roaches are popping. That's like basically your goal. And my opponent's side, he's the one that's going mutas. I don't know this yet, but I scouted it in a second. Right when your layer finishes, you should always create an overseer and send it in right away. Good Zergs, if you see roach warden, it's guaranteed to be roaches. no like Zerg player drops Roach Warren and Aspire at the same time. Like typically they will go Mutas into Roaches, but not at the same time. They'll do 8 Mutas first, then drop Roach Warden, then go into Roaches. It's just too much investment which you're not using for a period of time. So all you have to do is see either a Roach Warden, Roaches, or Aspire. In this case I saw Aspire. So the reaction to the Aspire is immediately starting Queens. I want to get around 5 Queens and a couple Sport Callers at key locations. That little amount of air defense is enough to hold it easily. So just these roaches will hold off any lane attacks. So yeah, this is what I was talking about, the weakness of going Mutas. He went pretty quick Mutas, like standard, like anything else, while I'm doing the Roach build. Once Roach speed finishes, you should be immediately moving across the map with a group of roaches and attacking them. The Mutas will pop out and kill them eventually, but it buys you an incredible amount of time. You're just drawing up your third at this time, and you're getting your anti-air production. So he's investing 900 minerals and 900 gas into Mutas, while you're not doing that. You're investing this much roaches, which you don't really care if it dies. Like, he just wasted this much on anti-air that it's not going to do anything. In this case, I haven't killed his third, because it's actually really hard for a Muta player to deal with these small roach attacks in the early game, because they just don't have the units capable of killing them. Like, all they have is lings. So he instead tried to counterattack with some lings, but I held it off decently okay. Just like microing a bit. Alright, so now I'm in a very good position, obviously. I killed his third, I've held my third, and he's on Mutas. Now his Mutas are on the map. This is like when, like, this next minute or so is the most important part in the whole game. Even if this didn't die, this doesn't matter right now in the grand scheme of things, killing this. It'll matter later in the game, but right now it's still basically even. So position of Sport Callers. Obviously you don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it either. I have one over here, so you can't poke in the gases. Like, you can't go around here. This will cover this whole side of the map. I also want one to help defend against the transfer of drones, so ideally I want one like right here. I think I'll move this over at some point. I want one by my production facilities. So this and here, these two defend this whole side of the map. Like, this side of the map is covered just by these two. I don't need to put them in my mirror line. I want to put them out a little bit. As well as this one. This is covering the top end. He can't run around this. I think I should move this back a little bit. And this one, again, protecting against transfer workers. So when I'm droning my third, this is routed out to my third. The drones are protected by the Sport Callers. Also, see, like I said earlier, I'm producing queens. These queens are just there to poke the Mutas and help drone transfer. You just need you just keep producing queens at this point in the game. And behind it, to force him back, I'm just sending roaches across the map to keep his Mutas back. So he's spending time defending with his Mutas instead of attacking me. So now I have full saturation in my third, basically, and he still hasn't done anything with his Mutas yet. And that's purely just the reason because Mutas are too slow at killing roaches in the early game. So yeah, like I said, I just have a group of queens. I need to protect this transfer line. Keep producing queens. I even go to Hydras personally. I don't know exactly what the ideal composition is to go first. Infestors or Hydras. I personally like Hydras because the most common Muta play at the moment is roaches. Mutas into roaches. Against mass Mutas, you want Infestors, obviously, but against like only 8 Mutas, I like Hydras better. Hydra Queen will do the same job. Oh yeah, so this is where I was talking about. You just need to spread them out just to zone them. You're just zoning the Mutas. So I made 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's kind of a lot. Ideally I want 6, but obviously I was in such a good position this game where I can afford it. So just this is like, he can get any drone kills for the whole game, I'm pretty sure, with these Mutas. So I'm willing to sacrifice the 7 drones to make the Sport Callers. Okay. Now I'm making nothing but roaches, Hydras, and queens. I'm taking a 4th behind this push, but I want to start moving out soon. I've had a good lead throughout this whole game, so I'm ready to be able to finish him off. And he's been trying to join up and catch up eco-wise, taking gold even. So I know his army's gonna be pretty small compared to mine. And that's all because I've had a better opener throughout the game. So let's just watch the attack. He does a pretty good job of picking off units as they cross the map, but just eco-wise, there's no way for him to catch up. The micro alone is not gonna do anything. And at this point in the game, I haven't seen any other mutas other than initial 8, so I basically know he's already switched into Hydra, Roach, like Roach play, Roach Infester. So I don't have to worry about getting infestors at the moment, and I feel comfortable moving across the map with just a few Hydras. So I've been mostly producing Roaches up this point, so I have the majority Roaches and some Hydras and some Queens, because I know that the mutas aren't that significant anymore. They're just there to hassle me and fuck with me. They're not gonna do anything. So yep, just slowly attack across the map. Dun 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 dun. I even YOLO into this. See, this is actually really bad play by me, I'm not gonna lie. I can't even defend this. The more smart play event would go this way and attack from this direction. Instead I go through a choke, which is really dangerous. I actually could have lost the game as a result. Or hell, I can even go up, like around. Could have gone this way and attack from this direction. But yeah, so don't do this. But yeah, the numbers just don't. The numbers is too severe. He can't defend this. So yeah, alright, so this is basically the game. I mean, he GG's in a second, but the whole game came down to it was just the opener. Like, I didn't do anything special. I didn't do anything right, to be honest. Like, I fucked up a bunch. But the fact that he went Mutas, his Mutas didn't do any damage, and I counterattacked the Roaches, won me the game by themselves. Just slowly watch this game end out. Just go into his natural, kill him off. Doesn't matter. Just try and make us hardest, it's not gonna do anything. And he leaves in a second. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's talk about the rest of the game. Upgrade wise, I only stick to one Evo Chamber personally. I don't like two. I don't think the upgrades are that important, so I slowly get them throughout the game. And then end the game right now, I'm at 2-1. So that's like decent enough. Like, if it's at 2-2, I don't really care. Like, I'd rather have a better eco, quicker tech, instead of the higher upgrades. Armor upgrades don't really do anything in Roach. I always go Roach into Hydras first, mostly, unless, like I said, if it's mass mutas, then I'll go Infestors first, but 9 times out of 10, it's always just Cult mutas. So, like, Hydras first, then you get Infestors, and also Hive at the same time. So I just started my infestation, and I started working into Infestors at this point in the game, after my first move out. So say if this game did go into the late game, and he held this push, my next push would come up with Infestors, Hydra, Roach. Then the push after that would probably be some Vipers as well. Creep spreading, some people say that you're not supposed to creep spread at all in this game. I don't dedicate time to it. I like to connect my bases like I did in this game. But also, I mean, if you have the 8 PM, might as well just do it. The creep tumors provide you the vision, so if they're doing a bunch of Roach counterattacks, you'll see them quicker in advance. Yeah. Now let's look at vision-wise. Alright, so on this player. So since he went Mutas, though, he did take map control with Mutas, and like, that's a problem because it makes it harder to deal with counterattacks later in the game. So if we were even going to the late game, he does have an advantage because he had map control, so I don't have Overlord spread. But ideally, after I dealt with Mutas, I would start spreading out Overlords, one right here, one right here, one right here, and one right here. Middle I only care about. Most Arcs don't attack across middle. I did because I'm bad, but you're not supposed to. Gas count wise, if you're going Hydras, Roach Hydra, you really only need 5. I had a 6 on near the end of the game. Pretty sure this is a brand new one. Because I was going to Infestors. But if you're just going to Roach Hydra, you only need 5 gases. Yeah. I guess the last thing I could talk about is Burrow Roach play, which is like the second most common thing I've been seeing, and I think it's beyond knowing to deal with. But I guess that you want a bunch of spines around a mirror line. I used to make a wall of spines like around here, basically thinking that that would deter the roach player. But then playing as some Zerg player who just basically saw that and just yellowed past the spine colors and attacked the mirror line. So he would just chill right here, well, with his roaches. So instead of making a wall like I used to, I put them around my mirror line. So I'll do like 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and get an overseer as well. I don't like to make a spore collar in defense against burrow roaches because they can target the spore collar, kill it, then burrow. So I really think the overseer is much better in that aspect. You want to do that for your main like extended bases. Like this would be one to put a bunch of spine collars at. You want a bunch of spine collars your natural so you can't just yellow into your main. And your third, maybe like 2 spine crawlers against burrow roach play. I wouldn't do anything more than that because this base isn't as vulnerable compared to this one. I guess that's basically it. I mean, ZvZ is a pretty simple matchup. There's not much to talk about. I hope you understand why I think roach play is always 100 times better than Muta play. Like this game by itself just showed how much advantage I got just by following the basic roach build and getting roach speed and attacking at the right timing against a Muta player. And it kept him back long enough for me to get up defenses and get my eco lead and basically win the mid game. I guess that's basically it. There's not much else to talk about than that. You want to take your 4th generally around max out. Like when you're maxing up, you should be taking your 4th. Maybe a little before that, like 170 supply. I just take it. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. Next I'll be doing ZvP. ZvP, I'm much more comfortable in the matchup, so I can talk more about things that actually matter. But hopefully this video helped out. Take care.